Today I'll be making Captain America's World War II shield.
These are the things you'll need: cardboard, pen, measuring tape, straight edge, box cutter, newspaper, white glue, Mod Podge, masking tape, spray paint, fox leather, contact cement, self-adhesive velcro, X-acto knife, and a sponge brush. First I started out by drawing the basic shape of the shield onto 2 pieces of cardboard. I had to use 2 because I didn't have cardboard pieces big enough with the perforations going vertical, because they needed to be vertical so I could bend the shield into shape easier. So I just drew that out and cut it out with a box cutter. I used straight edge just to make lines a little bit cleaner. Then I used the offcuts to cut out the other side to try and make it symmetrical and make it just look the best, which kind of worked. It didn't work for the point at the end because it was just hard to get them symmetrical, and I spent a lot of time working on that, and I didn't want to do math on it because I don't want to do math. I kept trimming off the edges and sides because I just kept seeing it as too big, so I just kept making it smaller and smaller until I thought it was a good enough size. And the final product is off-center, but I have to, you gotta deal with what you got. And I taped it together with some masking tape, and then I started doing paper-mâché over it. If you've seen my other videos of paper-mâché, you already know the drill. Water down white glue and newspaper and just, slather it on there. I did go through a lot of sponge brushes with this process, just because after a while they would start to disintegrate, and once that happens you want to switch to a new one because bits of the foam will get embedded into your prop, and you don't want that. But yeah, I just did a couple layers of paper-mâché. Took me a couple days. I did not film all of it because this video would be twice as long, or the time lapse would just be so fast you wouldn't be able to understand what was even happening. So I did have to cut out and not film much of this process because it's mostly just the same thing over and over again. At first I was avoiding masking tape because I just didn't know how the paper-mâché would react with it, so I did just go over it with the paper-mâché. And I do have some blocks of wood under it to help it keep the rounded shape, just to support it so it won't deform when it's drying and make it have a weird shape. I did put parchment paper down just so if any glue did dry on it, it would be easier to pull it off and it wouldn't create such a mess. This did turn out with some wrinkles on it, which I really want to avoid, and if you want to avoid that, just make out of foam. It would save so much time and effort. Then I covered it in 2 layers of Mod Podge just to seal it in and try and make it a little bit more smooth. Then I spray painted it first with a primer, just to make sure the paint would stick on both sides. Then I did a white coat over it. I had to get new spray paint because my other white cans of spray paint were empty. Did a few coats just trying to make a true white. Then I started making the straps. I got some fox leather and just contact cemented them together. And if you don't know how to use contact cement, you just put contact cement on both of the objects you want to glue together, wait 13 to 15 minutes, and then combine them together and they'll bond on contact. I did some measurements just so my arms would fit. I did end up using velcro, self-adhesive velcro, just to make it adjustable, just in case if I'm wearing a poofy jacket, I can adjust it. So then I measured out where the red stripes would go, because there's 5 red stripes, and it was a lot of math. So it'll vary on how big you make your shield. And then I just masked all the parts I want to stay white, and then I spray painted it red. Did a few coats of that. Then I cut out a star stencil and then taped it onto the top of the shield, and cut the shape into the masking tape. So when I took the rest of the masking tape off, the star shape would stay. So I could paint the top blue while keeping the stars white. I did cut out 2 different stencils because there's 2 different sizes of the stars. Also remember to have a sharp new blade in your X-acto knife when you're cutting out the stars. It'll just make your life way easier. And I removed the masking tape. There was some of the paint did bleed through, but not too much, so I was fine with it. I taped off the stripes so I could paint the top blue. I did use some paper just to not use so much masking tape. I did a kind of a seal with just white paint, just to try to not have the bleed through the paint. And I did a first few coats of the navy blue. A brighter blue would work, it's just I had navy blue already, so and I wasn't willing to go to the hardware store to get some new spray paint just for this. Then I took all the masking tape off, and I think it turned out pretty well. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later.